Hi, this is Jason Shatner, aka Wolf, with a pile of rumors. Some of them older, some of them very new, some of them various levels of confirmation by second and third party sources. But first and foremost, there will be multiple stories in this video, so right there. First and foremost, the second set, you've probably already seen this already, the second set of leaked Nintendo NX controllers have been confirmed to be fake. And, alright, so far, all the leaked NX controller images are fake. The white model was Photoshop 3D modeled, and the second set of images of the black model Nintendo NX controller were 3D printed. So, yippee. So, we are going from 2 to 1 to 0 leaked images of the Nintendo NX controller. Nintendo really might want to consider shooting some of the stuff down a little more thoroughly. So, on to part 2. Also, there has been these two might tie together, but there is this information that's going around in the developer community and through the backside of the internet that Sony is going to release a PlayStation 4.5, or otherwise known as a alternate name, PlayStation 4K. This PlayStation 4K will output all things in 4K. I need to pull that closer, and it pulled my camera out of alignment. Okay, so the PlayStation 4K will output everything in 4K. However, there are some really strange details to these rumors. First and foremost, part of the rumor stipulates that it will be priced at around multiple sources of this set of rumors. It will be priced around $400. It will release sometime late 2016, and it will have roughly the same form factor. Now, first and foremost, Digital Foundry did a very interesting article explaining with really big words how much this is essentially what the fuck and bullshit. So, here's the thing. Yes, there is 4K gaming on PC. However, many sources, many PC gamers have stated that 4K gaming essentially requires one or more graphics cards that are in the $1,000 range, 800 to 1,000 plus. Just to do 4K, you have to have at least two $800 plus graphics cards just to do okay 4K gaming. And keeping in mind, these are nearly $1,000 graphics card for a decent gaming rig. There's a lot of heat, a lot of money spent, and a lot of fans. I'm not talking about the PC Master Race here. It's just creepy just watching myself clap. There's that slightly There's my autism kicking in right there. And my Asperger's. But anyways, the issues are, A, it's the same form factor. It's going to do 4K, and it's going to be $400. First and foremost, you need two really good graphics cards in the above 800 range. That is cheaping it. 800 to 1,000 each. So how is Sony going to do 4K? Well, many sources have come to the conclusion that it will do a upscale 4K, not native 4K. While the difference between upscale and native is quite simple. Native is that the game is mastered in 4K. All the pixels are accounted for. All the math algorithms are worked out in the game to make 4K image. Now, upscaled is what is essentially you take a lower quality image, say like 1080p, and the system guesses or shades in the little details in it. So the game is not mastered in 4K. It is mastered in a lower quality and is bumped up with a little guesswork on the part of the system. Now, that is not as good as native 4K. Now, native 4K content is actually very, very, very sparse. There are many things that are marked. Well, not many, but even the few things that are marked 4K is actually upscaled 4K. You are not getting true 4K. You are just getting a bump up from a lower quality. Now, if you were to go and there's a really good video by Monday Matt. I'm going to try to hunt it down after I post this video, and I'm going to try to put it in the description box below so you can go to Mundane Matt's channel and go right to the video and of him explaining scaling processes of movies and stuff like that. He really loves movies, so I'll give him that. So, there's also a really good video by Rich and one of his friends on Review Tech USA about the subject too. I might go and hunt that one down and put it in the description of this video. Give me a day or two on that. I'm making this at night. I basically had to make the video, go pick someone up, come home, upload the video, and then I'm going to go to work tomorrow and work my butt off and be really tired. But I will work on getting the extra links in the description. So the issue is, first and foremost, Sony's going to come out with this 4K PlayStation 4. It will retail at a price less than a single graphics card for a PC, less than retail price for a single graphics card for a PC, half of the price of one of the two graphics cards you need. And then a part of this rumor was to justify this concept for the need of boosting up the PlayStation VR. Now, This is just, I can't really comprehend why that would work out like that. Uh, the only thing it could work out, it could help, is that the PlayStation VR's minimum required specs actually are on the upper edge of the PlayStation 4, and that the PlayStation 4 barely has enough processing power to actually do virtual reality. So they would have to make a stronger PlayStation 4 to do a lot of the work for the VR headset. Now, there's a lot of issues with this rumor. The price, the form factor, all that stuff is going to heat up really bad. We're going to potentially end up with a red ring of death situation with the PlayStation 4K. And it is priced ridiculously low for a system to do 4K. Sony must really want to lose more money. They have to sell it, if they're going to do it at $400. This is just all based off of rumor floating around from developer to developer, and sources that or say they are connected to developers. Sony's going a little crazy with their PlayStation division, and I could see why they are throwing a ton of money behind the PlayStation division, because that is their division that makes them the money. That is the part of the company. If the PlayStation 4 overnight basically stopped selling and people said, you know what, I don't want to play with this thing, and went off somewhere else, Sony would go bankrupt in about 1 to 2 years. They can't afford their PlayStation division being number 2. They really can't. They can barely afford being number 1. Uh, Now, many people hover around this PlayStation VR. The PlayStation 4K system is there to boost up PlayStation VR. However, my favorite theory or hypothesis on that is that the PlayStation 4K is to head off the Nintendo NX. Now, rumors have it anywhere from late 2016 to 2018. There's one rumor that places the NX out at 2018. The handheld system is coming in 2016. There's 2 different rumors that stipulate that the home console NX will come out in either 2017 or 2018. Uh, Part of me says there may even be a NX phone, and that might be where that patent, where that oval patent, where the fake controllers came from. That is a possibility. A lot of people really would like to have a N phone. I would buy an N phone. So we have fake NX controllers. We have this rumor that is partially fluffed up by people who roam around developer circles of the PlayStation 4K later this year, for a ridiculously low price with capabilities that are ridiculously high compared to something that is twice the price of the unit. If it was like $800, that would be ridiculous cheap. If the PlayStation 4K was $800, that would be ridiculously cheap for what it can do. If it was doing native 4K, 1200 or 1200 would be cheap. 1500 would be cheap at doing the capability of doing 4K gaming. The rumors are pointing at $400. And Sony has managed with the PlayStation VR to come in really cheap at the $399.95 mark, far below $200 below Oculus Rift. Keep in mind that the PlayStation VR requires, besides the PlayStation 4, it requires a PlayStation camera. You need a PlayStation camera, and many of the games are going to require the PlayStation Move controller. So you need a $600, not a $600 camera. You need a $60 camera and $50 controllers, two of them. So you take two $50 controller, $40 to $50 controllers, and a $60 camera. You slap that on top of the $400 price. You got yourself a nice, sweet $560 bundle. And you throw in the PlayStation 4, that's another roughly just under $400. $350, $400, and you got yourself around, I'm not really good with math, you have yourself something around $750 to $800, which is cheaper than the PC solutions. So there. And if there is a PlayStation 4K, that's going to be the PlayStation 4 I'm going to buy. I'm going to put a camera up, I'm going to record it, and in theory, I might be able to upload a video of it catching fire, because putting that much power into a box that size, you might be asking for trouble. So, I covered the NX controller, the fake NX controllers. I talked about the PlayStation 4K. This is review time. And I referenced a few rumors by Nintendo, somewhere in the part of number 2. Also, there was various developers, X Criterion team, that was developing a game called Dangerous Golf. Look up Dangerous Golf. And they were basically asking deep philosophical questions of what will the PlayStation 5 be like? We're already to that point where we're already pondering the PlayStation 5, the next generation of systems. This is largely due to the fact that this current generation of systems, I'm not talking about the Wii U. The Wii U's awesome. But I am talking about the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One being exceedingly underpowered compared to everything else. And they, in an interview, basically were talking about what the next generation will be like. And there's also many developers have been talking about and wanting to develop for the Nintendo NX, because there's many rumors within the developer circles about the abilities of the Nintendo NX. Like Moon Studio talking about the Nintendo NX and several others. Even though Moon Studio is actually a first party or a technical, I don't know the exact status. I know they are contracted with Microsoft. No, I think they would technically classify, from what I basically heard, as a second party studio. They are an independent studio that is contracted to make games by Microsoft. So if you have any more details, go ahead and type them in the comments below. So we're having a lot of video game developers really wanting to move on to something more powerful. And this is possibly why Sony is coming out with a PlayStation 4K, because many rumors state by many developers in developer circles that many developers making games for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, who are basically maxing out the systems right now, are really, really wanting to get their hands on the Nintendo NX. And if you're Sony and you're the only way you're making money, your number one, they are making money with two divisions, their PlayStation division and their camera division. They lose money on their phone division. On their camera division and their PlayStation division. Those are the two divisions that are making money. And if the reason why you are making money on one of your division, the developers, the third party developers, leave to go to Nintendo, Sony's seriously screwed. They're not going to do too well with that one. So, there. And that's possibly the true reason why, as I said before, why Sony is these very strong talks from developers about a PlayStation 4.5 or PlayStation 4K is coming about. Because Sony doesn't make very many games themselves anymore. Many other studios are second party studios and third party studios that they do contracts with to make games. And recently, Sony has closed down Evolution Studio, the company that did a Drive Club. I think they did other games. I think some for. It was an independent company, and I think Sony bought them, and then, like EA, closed them down. Here's a tip: if Sony wants to buy out your company, do not sell them your company and do not sell them your IPs, developers, because they will take your IP from you, and if they own your studio, they will shut you down. Sony has done this as many times as EA has. And furthermore, Sony is all the developers, all the first party developers within Sony, and majority of their franchises are purchased franchises from other companies. There's very few franchises Sony created originally themselves. Many of their franchises were created by other developers, and then Sony bought the rights for funding of the project. So right there, Sony will take your dream from you and they will shut down your company. Just like EA. But that's one point. Nintendo doesn't really do that. It's hard enough for them to even just hand out their stuff. But I hope they do more of that. There is also fourth story. This is a news wrap up or slash update. I was intending on doing this a long time ago, but minor bout of depression. There was this rumor going around about Beyond Good and Evil 2 being a NX launch title and exclusive. Now, first and foremost, this rumor originated from Gino from NeoGAF. He has a impeccable history of bringing to light these very important details and rumors. And he has predicted many things in the past. Many sites have miscontributed this rumor to Alex Mira from Dual Pixels, but Alex Mira got his information from Gino, and then Alex Mira reported it on Dual Pixels, much like I am doing right now and what I do with several other stories. To get all that clear, like 2/3 of the websites I read on this subject misattribute this rumor to Alex Mira and have Gino as the reconfirmation as opposed to the originator. Get your details straight. Sometimes I screw up myself. Sometimes my brain just and rearranges some words on me, but that's what it is. Everyone knows that, according to one of my sources, the original Beyond Good and Evil was released back in 2003. There is 2 variations in this rumor. As I said, it will be an NX exclusive. It will be released in 2017 as a launch title. And there's 2 points. There will be a launch title, and it will be a 2017 game. Many rumors state the NX is going to come out in late 2016. Now, this is confusing to many people. It is not to me. As I talked about in earlier videos, a launch window title is a game that is released within 6 months. I keep checking my clock. I had to go off and pick someone up and bring them. It is, yeah. I have to do that every so often. But a launch window title game is a game that's released within the first 6 months of a system. So let's say if the new Nintendo NX was released in November of 2016. It could come out in March 27. Beyond Good and Evil 2, Prejudice of Philosophers, could come out in March 2017, and it would still be in that launch window game. There. I just simply fixed that problem. I fixed 2 problems on this rumor. There's also another really interesting point. This game is developed by Ubisoft. It was by Michael Ankel. I don't know if I mispronounced his name. Sorry if I did. And Ubisoft has stated several times in the past that they had several games that were already ready made for the Nintendo Wii U, and they never released them because the install base on the Nintendo Wii U is not big enough. Which is the stupidest thing I ever heard. And this is officially from Ubisoft. Well, no, the stupidest thing I ever heard was their reason was that they don't want to put games on a system that doesn't have a large enough install base. And my reaction to that is it's stupid. Uh, the reason for the logic behind that is that the logic supporting what they think is that if they release a bunch of games out on a system and there's not enough people there to buy them, the games sit on the shelf, they become old, and people don't want to buy them, even as the sales of the system increase. And I have literally witnessed this firsthand. I've literally long time ago, back in the GameCube days, I literally had a kid who decided not to get. I was in a GameStop. I'm sorry, I was in a GameStop. Uh, Literally decided not to get Super Smash Bros. Melee because it was a launch title, and it was it was about 2 or 3 years after the GameCube released, so it was an old game, and he decided he wasn't going to get that game because it was a launch title. He heard great things about the game, awesome things about the game, but he's not going to buy it because it was a launch title. That is dumb. So I could see the crazy logic that Ubisoft is going with. Possibility was that Beyond Good and Evil 2 was already made at one point, originally for the Nintendo NX, and this could explain why the game did not come out. Ubisoft kept saying it's in development, it's in development, it's in development, and it's been in development forever. And it could be possibly, as I said, it was already made, it already was finished for the Wii U. There wasn't the install base there. People and they just put it in their vault somewhere. And they are now remaking a unreleased game for the next Nintendo system. Now, interesting points after this. There was also a statement or a rumor that shot around after this rumor that Ubisoft wanted Destructoid to pull their article based on the Dual Pixels article, and which was based on the rumor started by Gino. And then there was later on another update that stated that Ubisoft by Destructoid, stating that this never occurred, that they just Ubisoft never actually told Destructoid to pull the article. Weird, huh? And it's really weird. So, thank you very much. Uh, hey, that got rid of like 3 things off my list to do. I got a dozen other things. Please leave in the comments below, do you want me to, say, go over the Nintendo Direct from the 3rd of March? I know it's been long since I actually talked about, I didn't even talk about the Nintendo Direct. It was a busy week. I was doing too many things. Tons of people just jumped on that, and I'm like, most people ignore my channel if I'm not the first person to something. So I do have some interesting observations on the Nintendo Direct. I will potentially do that if a few people want me to do so. I might still do it, even if no one says anything. So please, please, please go say hi to the subscribe button. It should be right there. Please consider doing so. Please vote on my video. Please tell me what you think of my video and any other information you have, and basically anything. Just shoot away. And please share my video with other people. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful night.